NPC and IFBB. Obviously, what's the difference? Anybody know? From NPC men's physique versus IFBB?
What's the difference? Recap?
No? You have more time on the stage as a pro. That's the only difference. But I can tell you this, judges want to see the same thing, and I think he's going to back me up on everything I say today, hopefully. We have the same...
or not.
Yeah. They don't want to see too much, and guys, the longer you're up there, the more they're judging you, right? The longer they're picking and trying to find flaws, because it's not about just finding all the attributes, it's also, when you're judging, you're looking for things that the other guy doesn't have that he maybe just saw, or saw in the comparisons. Remember, you're usually coming out first, and you're in comparisons, right? You come out in groups. Has anybody not done a show yet? Raise your hand. Okay, haven't done a show? Okay. So when you first come out, guys, you're coming out and you're being compared. Okay, usually at a regional show, you'll have an average 5, sometimes 2 different call-outs and comparisons. Sometimes there's been 3. National level, there's been 5 or 6. Pro levels, I've seen 8. But normally, as a regional show, you're going to come out, you're going to have about groups of 5 in a regional, or 6, and then you come out and they compare. After you are compared, at that point, what are you guys doing when you're comparing them?
Well, look, you're on the right track. Let's step back just a little bit further. Whenever we get there, we're calling men's physique, and the first class comes out, let's say they're 8 in it, something like that. I'll probably bring those 8 out if I'm head judging. I want to see all 8 on stage. I'll run you through a front pose, back pose, front pose, have everyone exit off stage. Then everybody come back and do individuals. And after they've done those individuals, I'll have everybody come back, be on the diagonals, and then there'll be a call out. And 8 is usually the number. If they're 8 or less, they'll probably just go straight to the front line. If it's 8 or more, I'll split the class up. What he was saying, when you first come out in that group, this goes for NPC or IFBB. When you come out in that group, I was talking to these guys at lunch, that's when you need to shine. If I'm head judge and these guys are judging side, I'm going to go, give me your top 5. Give me your top 5. Who do you think ought to be in the first call-outs? Because then, when you come out in that first group, somebody is going to stand out in that group. I must be you, right? So that's my first initial look, because you're actually standing next to someone. And when you come out in your individuals, everybody looks good in their individuals. Every person in the show's got abs. You know what I mean? I see everybody in the individuals like that. I just look at my paper. If I make a mark on it that I got them in that first call out, that's just to verify. Maybe I missed something on a back pose. Like I said, your back pose is so important in men's physique, because everybody will be really even in the front. As soon as you turn around, that's where I'm going to find first and second. I don't care how good your front pose is. The guy beside him probably had just as good front pose. When you turn to the back, that's when it starts falling apart for most people. So that's one of our biggest things on that. So on paperwork side, from a judge's side, that's what I'm looking for. And he just said, when you're out there and you're staying out there too long, all we do is find something wrong with you. Bikini, wellness, and I guess fit model now, those girls think more time they're out there, more they're showing their physique on. If men's physique got on, they're trying to do everything a lot longer. The more you turn, the more I see wrong with you. I have a really, really strong front pose, and I have a really, really strong back pose. And that's all you need to show them. The only 2 poses in class. All this turn around, front door, your bicep, all that, you'll hear me on the mic say there's no bodybuilding poses in this division. And we move on.
Guys, when you hit a front pose, also, and even like transitions, people think that you have to have a transition. Guys, it's really, even at the pro level, it's not important. Okay, and especially showing your structure. If you're looking at a men's physique pose, right, a simple front pose, right, I like to pose to this way. I can pose either way, but that took me many years to figure out. Everyone's got to figure out what their strong side is and where they feel most comfortable, and their physique obviously looks the best. So for a men's physique front pose, right, what am I showing most importantly here? Width, clavicle, right? Structure. Okay, a lot of guys will be like this, right? What am I taking away from? shape. Look at my shoulders here, look how my chest is gonna fall here, right? So even with transition guys, a lot of guys do transition, you're like, what is it? Does this look good? Are you judging this, Alan?
I don't know what that is.
Yeah. How many people have seen this? You know? Okay, proper. See my structure? Shoulders, chest is open, I'm still showing condition. So when you're doing a transition, make sure you're not doing cool, things like this. You're swinging around, it's bam. Showing structure, showing the conditioning here, but my shoulders are open, my chest is still open. And then look, when I turn around, I'm right into my pose.
Already open.
I'm not doing much. When I turn back around, my structure, I'm not going like this. You see you guys do this all the time. This, they're pulling that, yeah.
But
Guys,
he
they know
kept his
the
width
width.
the entire way around, he kept his width.
Yep.
He never dropped it.
This is a simple men's physique pose, right? Come open.
Simple and clean.
That's it. That's what an NPC men's physique, you can get more flary and all that stuff. But the most important thing, I never changed my structure. They want to see a small waist. So every time I'm tapered, I'm showing angle, showing a small waist. Even when I turn, am I going like this? I'm not trying to angle, show the thickness in any way. So that's why knowing your flaws is really important. Okay, posing to your strengths, okay, is really important. So knowing your flaws, that takes some time, and that's why having a good coach, a good posing coach, is really important for you guys to have, because he'll see those things. A good posing coach should pick you apart right in the beginning and say, nope, nope, change this, you look too thick, you look too this, you're not showing me anything good, you're not showing your conditioning, whatever it is. So, starting here.
Okay,
Right.
can I stop you right there?
Yeah.
What did he start out with? What was his first move he did? His feet. Starts at the ground and works its way up. I see so many people, they start, they lock their top in, and then they fix around trying to get their feet within a DB.
Yeah.
Start with the bottom, work your way up.
And that's the same thing with classic and bodybuilding, guys. It's from the ground up. You start with your legs showing that in classic, right? And then you're coming up and you're finishing off at the top of the body. Men's physique, today, obviously, they're changing the criteria tag. At the NPC level, guys, they're not sitting there looking, all right, let me see these legs coming out. It's nothing like how it is in bodybuilding classic, but you gotta be balanced now today. You can't look like these little chicken sticks and not train legs. You gotta have a little bit of balance. So, the cut of your shorts is important. We'll get into that in a minute, and all that stuff. So, sorry, buddy, you're in shade. All right, so he's one of my clients. I haven't seen him in person, and we're about to do the Arnold. But I don't like his posing. So I'm gonna fix my client's posing.
That's a great guess, Mike.
Yes.
Hey, I
Can we come back, have him start out over here, just come out, do a presentation and go back.
Yeah, take your shirt off.
Yeah.
Just, hey, keep it simple, no, we're not gonna critique you nothing, just come out, do a nice presentation and go back. Just like you would on stage.
Solid. Yeah, very solid.
Sorry, I don't want to stick.
I don't like that.
You're a judge, Mike.
Good. Okay. Few things. All right. Did you see him do, you're a pro, right? Did you see him doing anything wrong? It's actually pretty damn good.
No, that's good. That's good. You talk. You say it.
Okay.
You say it. You go.
All right. The first thing, guys, especially with look how wide his upper body is, right? A lot of width, really good. Look there. If you looked at his feet when he was here, what does it look like for me up top to bottom? Do I look balanced, or does my feet look very? So for him, one thing I would suggest, he opens up his feet a little more, has more of that X, right? So you don't want to, guys, a lot of guys, medi. He does it all the time.
Yeah.
He's lost shows because of it, right? He poses like this because he's so focused on his core. And for him to get his core, he likes to keep his legs raised. Okay, but it makes himself so that he gets no bottom and very narrow. Okay, so having a nice, these feet should be in your armpits. If you want an X, your foot should be right in your armpits, and then here. It looks a lot better than me doing this, right? So that's the one thing, just a little bit wider in your stance.
You can't stand narrow for a long time either.
You're still you're too tight with your feet.
Yeah, now for him to get a little more, are you flat-footed? This is the number one most important thing a opposing coach. If he doesn't ask you this, he does not opposing coach.
Yeah, super flat-footed.
You're super flat-footed. A flat-footed person does not pose anywhere close to someone that has an arch. Why?
Is it balance or?
Balance. Okay, guys, so for someone that's flat-footed, right, they can't ever be on the balls of their feet like this, like a boxer. It's really, really hard, okay, because there's no arch, there's no bend in there, right? So someone that has to, flat foot has to have their feet flat on the ground. So I definitely change their feet placement and the way their feet are pointed, a lot different than someone that has an arch foot. Okay, someone with an arch foot is gonna be more on the balls of their feet, so I can transition. I'm on the balls of my feet the whole time. See that? I can be smooth, I can move, I can come back, I can move.
All right, put on the damn show then.
You're recording me. So now watch him. So the reason why he goes so far off his foot like this is because he is flat-footed. Someone with an arch foot would be like me. Your heels are going to hover. He's not going to be able to hover because he has no arch. So
It's a little bend in that leg too, it's a little awkward the way you're doing that leg stiff like that.
yeah. So go back and
It's not relaxed.
You don't look comfortable.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. Like,
So it's
put a
bouncing
little,
your knee, there, so, bro.
Yeah, a little bend, but bring this out right more, and actually put it on the ground. Okay? Feels weird, right? Okay, so someone, I wanted to show you this, guys, someone that is always gonna tippy-toe on this foot. Anyone that's flat-footed, it makes them have more balance in their body. So for him, I'm not gonna ask him to hover. This is gonna come off the foot a little like a kickstand. Go ahead. Just do it where you're comfortable.
Now he's got more to think about.
It's okay. It's okay.
That's what I was gonna bring up, you know, I know we're putting him on the spot, and I kinda feel like he almost felt rushed,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? So that, even in that situation, slow it down. Remember, this is your time, you know, with that. So I think, you know, when you get in a situation and you feel like that you're being rushed a little bit, it may throw you off your game a little bit. And the best thing to prepare for that is more and more and more practice posting.
That's
Tempo
right.
is really important.
Because there will be times when the head judge.
You gonna always
says,
be rushed.
Go ahead, hey, we gotta go.
You always
You
rushed.
just hit your first pose.
So guys, I want you to
Same
just come out
Yeah.
and just get into the box and just hit your pose and just come right from there. Just hit your pose. Right from where Serge is at the end. And then this is your box. Let's sit right here. Okay?
Showtime, bro.
First of all, guys, when you're off to the side, stay in the pose, right?
Yeah.
We're going pose to the judge. So guys, when you're off to the side, you're always centered, you're always posing to the center of the head judge. Always pose.
Now, the next guy, like Alex back here, Alex is behind the curtain, he's just chilling out.
Yeah.
But when he comes up to this spot where you walk out on stage, go ahead and get your angle, get your point, get squared away, and stay there. Because
That's
you're,
what I'm telling you
like
right
he
now.
said, we're looking at you as soon as you step on stage.
If a judge does not like what he's seeing probably, right in front of him, he's probably gonna be like, what's coming next? You know? No, I'm not saying they do that. But go ahead, pose to me, I'm the head judge right here. So now when I look over, because this guy just finished, or maybe I'm bored, I'm looking at lines over here, I'm looking at the width, his chest, his shoulders, I'm like, all right, I gotta pay attention, this guy's coming. Yeah.
Bro, you don't start smiling over
Smile
there.
number 26.
Smile on the stage. Smile, man.
Better start practicing smiling now.
The smile, don't forget. Hey,
So,
so.
you can open up a little more here. Listen, tip this down, but, Now bring his shoulder back.
Shift his weight.
Yeah.
He's.
Relax.
I love that, Mike, I'm sorry.
All right, good. Now I have more taper. See what I did? By me pushing this hip bone down, and then him, so what I want to do more taper here, and then I square this up. This doesn't move. I don't take this and go like this, because then you're going to look seriously wide. You're not going to have any flare here. This isn't going to tighten up and show that oblique conditioning that he wants to show. Good.
No cardio over it.
Now, now one
I got
thing
no
you
sense
can
of it.
do,
Oh.
see how this is looking a little flat? He's just got to open this up. When you bring this arm over, what happens to his chest? It drops. So look, when you go like this, you have to be open and up, and chest up a little. Good, well, show me that. Now see the difference in his chest? Now Serge doesn't think he's flat. He looks like he has bubble. He has a big, wide open clavicle, which judges love. They love that width up top. His upper chest has more fullness to it. Shoulders look great. All right, now transition. Okay, push that shoulder back a little. Good. You want to show width again. When you do this transition, guys, don't go like this.
It's like kind of square
Bam.
off, right?
Stay open. Good. Go to the back. Okay, good.
Everybody see where his hands are at? They are not out here.
The biggest part to notice
For me
is
to get
between
these
his arm
erectors
and
out
his lap.
a little
There's no
more.
gap there.
See what I
You
did?
should have no gap like you're riding a bike.
Yeah, we'll get to that in a minute.
It's my turn.
So, I'll let you do it. So see what I did? When I pick this chest up, guys, see, if I'm like this, my erectors in the center of my back is gonna be flat. When I go like this, pressure, not that I'm pulling, pressure is gonna go into the erectors, and they're gonna get more full. So that's why they always say, bring your chest up. What I like to say is actually, bring your rib cage up. A back pose is a bodybuilder's front pose. This is all it is. Look, it's all it is.
And where are we sitting
Go ahead.
as judges?
Okay, now transition back.
We're looking at that angle.
When I say raise your chest, it's like you're raising it right here.
Raising your sternum.
Your whole sternum.
His back looks
Good.
cool.
See how he almost hung that over? When he hangs this over sometimes on him, this whole, see what happens to the chest?
Yeah, squeezing away.
It's gone. This looks great, but now it's exposing this. So you gotta open this up, you keep this dipped, and you keep that back.
I kind of had that problem.
Mike, how do you fix, I see a lot of guys in the NPC, they want to flex down on their abs. In that front pose, as soon as that, they just lost their shoulders and abs. Shoulders and upper chest.
Guys, don't squeeze your abs. Guys, if you're squeezing your abs, you're probably not ready for a show. If you're going like this and you're so focused on trying to get your lines out, you're probably not conditioned enough. And that's when guys will do that. They'll try really hard to push on their abs. Or they just don't have thick enough muscle bellies and abs. He's not. He's blowing out. So, guys, they don't care how loud you are. Don't be worried about blowing on people or anything like that. If you want, that's how loud. I remember Jeremy Buendia, swear to God, one time a show years ago, he blew so hard, I watched the curtain move. He was in the back pose, and that's how much air he was taking in and out. Okay, a little extreme, but you've got to blow that air out. You don't want to hold your breath because you're not going to be able to stay in a pose. You're not going to be able to stay in line. The judges don't want to see you keep moving and readjusting. They can't judge your physique if you're moving and fidgeting. I had a guy, actually Alex Rogers, took second at a show, and one of the feedback was from the judge was he was just against Barack. I think it was you that gave it. He was moving too much, and kept on readjusting his posing, while the other guy just stood there like stone, just sat in his pose.
So do you look fidgety, kind of?
He that next.
Just couldn't stick the pose, or?
He wasn't sticking the pose. He kept on going like this. Looked great, but the other guy sitting. Now this was a close show. There was 1 point different. The other guy was just sat like this the whole time. The judge is going to lean towards the guy that can sit there and hold a pose. That's the guy I want on the Olympia stage. That's in front of millions of people. Not a guy moving around, breathing a lot. So guys, conditioning, gotta pose every day. Just like you work out every day, I do posing 3 times a day still as a coach. I do it every morning when I get up. I'll hit the mirror, do my angles, make sure I still got it. I'll do it in the gym while I'm working out. Okay, and I usually do it at home when I go home. In my little gym I have. I still pose 3 times per day for about 10 minutes. Okay, to keep my conditioning. I can sit in the back pose for probably 2 hours. I'm not even joking. And I will not even move. Maybe, honestly, if I didn't get tired, I'd probably sit there 7 hours. Where I see guys lose shows because they can't hold the back pose. Okay, so, and it helps you get your
Either can't hold it or they can't find it.
Yes, that's the number one problem is they can't find it. And guys, it took me 3 years.
There's a difference in holding
It's
and
still,
finding.
Jock's still working on that.
When you develop new muscle, full of
Things
muscle
change, yeah.
bellies, it changes the position of your posing.
Or even injuries sometimes could change.
And we've done this before. I've had done shows, I'm sure both these guys have. A lot of times, we'll run you guys back through another rotation because we're trying to give you that opportunity to open up.
Yeah.
Because right now, you're fighting out for you and another guy first or second, and you're not winning because you're not opening up your back. And we'll run you through another posing round just to see if give you an opportunity, to open it back up. We really want it to be a fair, comparison.
There's times.
What's your
when
number
you
one
look
pet
better.
peeve as a judge? And I want to ask all the judges this. What's your number one pet peeve as a judge when you see people like in the lineup that pisses you off or posing or what's the number one? Even if it's their.
What division?
What's that?
What division?
Men's physique.
And this.
So guys pose
Arms,
on
arms too high is a big one.
What?
Arms too high.
Does that piss you?
To add on to what you were saying earlier, the crunching, over crunching down to try to
To
make
try to
abs
bring-
that you don't have.
Okay.
Mine is just basically not listening. You're doing what you want to do, not what we're saying.
Yeah.
We're looking for one thing, and I don't know what the hell you're doing.
This.
Because
Yeah.
it's
Sure.
very easy. And you guys have told me, I know half you guys from shows, but when we're there, we just want to see a good solid front pose and good solid back pose.
Yeah.
For me,
That's
it's
it.
over.
I think the
I
most-
don't like the over posing, too many transitions. You don't need
Transitions are
to
not
do 3
necessary.
transitions to get to your back.
I think we all agree on overposing.
Yeah.
It's probably number one. But number two, if you're in a lineup and you're facing, the judge is down here in the middle and you're facing off to the parking lot. It still happens even in pro
Yeah.
shows.
It does.
You face the judge, there's not that much difference in each side, I would assume, Mike may disagree with me, but not enough you do look in the parking lot when we sitting over here.
Yeah.
But the
There's
biggest
nothing
thing,
wrong with
guys,
going towards the judge.
Yeah.
the biggest thing is men's physique. You know you have one better side than the other. I haven't seen one athlete that can hit the both sides.
Exactly
great.
the same.
It's always one better than the other. You will be flexible more on one side. Hit that one pose and just stay there. Get the best pose and that's it. You start switching to the other side and we're comparing it. Now all of a sudden you're losing your width, your waist looks big. Now you go back into your pose, it's like, okay, now you're good. And you're like, you don't know where you're at, and at the end you're cooking.
Yeah, you don't want to be a distraction, and that's what a lot of guys do, especially at the NPC level. It's just we laugh at some of these guys sometimes, but this is the number. The judge is sitting there like,
It's just a nervous twitch, I'm sure, but a big thing too, guys, stay spread out. Yeah, I know everybody wants to be in the box, and this is the craziest thing I saw last year, was this guy's in the box, and the guy beside of him stands here. You're not in the box if you only got 1 foot in the box. You're off to the side. But respect, if Bubby's the head judge, he's gonna put who he thinks in the box. That's not your decision, it's his decision. If you're off from the end, I always say, when you come out and call out, if I'm on stage for 7, I put 1 guy in the box and 3 on each side. I don't care where you're standing. He'll move you around and put the best towards the middle. And sometimes he may have the best in the middle, but he's trying to find who's really got second. So he may take that guy out and put another guy in it. You're like, oh, they're going for first. Well, first was this guy, they're trying to figure out who second is.
Stage etiquette. Stage etiquette's a big thing in men's physique.
It's huge.
Men's physique, I don't know why, but they bumping.
There's too much chicken wing fighting.
Right.
Well, let me ask you a question. If you have two guys, right, and they're next, whatever, the lineup, and you have two guys that are next to each other, and one guy is out of the box on the other guy, you ding him?
I'm not dinging points off, I will stop, move them,
Yeah.
move them again, and if I have a problem, I'll move them two to the side. I'll go 3 through 5, 3 through 6, and I'll bring those two guys and say split the box. And then guess what? At that point, any expediter that knows anything what's going on, Alan, Steve, they're gonna go in and say, do not go in a box, separate the box. And then we're gonna get the true picture of what's going on. I mean, sometimes we have to be referees besides judges.
Yeah.
And whenever there's a call out.
We don't like,
more
I'm not
pissed
digging
than
anybody if I got a referee, if they're the best guy. If they're the best guy, I try to get the best guy as the winner.
You guys happen, remember the battle you guys had in junior USA's 2 years ago with the two kids, the tall class, they were battling. I mean, it was literally, these guys were like fighting on stage. Now, I actually thought the guy that got second to him, I had him winning. I thought maybe in my mind during the show, I'm like, maybe because he was all over that guy and started a fight with him. And obviously, as I said, it's not something that they ding him for unless it's a continuous action that they're creating.
If we correct it, he comes back, you know, worst thing we're gonna do is we're just gonna pull you out, and put you back on the
I'd
diagram.
rather DQ you than ding you,
Yeah.
You know,
okay? I'd rather DQ you for full sportsmanship than to place you down and not to win.
Yeah.
And that's very rarely happened. I haven't seen it done in a long time.
yeah, I haven't cited that in a long time, but I know that that is something that they're on the radar about, especially at the IFBB pro level. And if there's a call out of 6, and I tell guys, hey, nobody's in the box, I need 3 on one side, 3 on the other. I think it's pretty self-explanatory.
Yeah.
Stay on the box.
I think the greatest thing was that we now have 6 boxes.
Yeah.
Everybody's
That
important.
helps.
I agree.
I'm not a fan
I don't
of
like the
boxes.
center thing, and especially having if you only have 5 and an odd number. But yeah, I like when the judges make us also think as coaches, we're like, there's 2 in the middle. Like you don't know who's got it.
Sometimes lighting in some of the auditorium is not great. You have to switch him to see if it's really light. If he's in a dark spot,
So that's another
it
reason
will
why
look,
you'll
yes,
switch
you move him
people.
around a little bit, you know. If
Every
you know
medium's
that
different.
the lights are great and everything is good, it's fine. But sometimes you get into some high school auditorium and the lights on this side is darker than this side. You want to switch them to see really, because if they're in a dark spot, they will not pop like the rest of the stage.
Sometimes I gotta move around because the LED board's blinding me from the back.
All right, so
And if it's a big call out, sometimes the judge over here can't
Yeah.
see that
Yeah,
guy
exactly
all the
right.
way
Good
on
point.
here. So we'll switch it to the
Also,
other
if
side.
you have a call out at 8 and judge is a little bit closer,
Yeah.
the ends, if you stand a little bit facing the, don't
that's
step
actually
out,
my next topic.
don't step out of the line, but if you angle it just a little bit towards the head judge, it's a little bit better.
You gotta always have 1 foot on the line at all times, guys. So if you have let's say, let me get you, Jason, and Jeff. Stay in the line and give yourselves, the proper amount.
Give him a way.
So-
But that's
all
only
right.
if you have like a top 8 in a call
Hey, guys,
out.
Are we closing?
If he's the
I
judge.
told her I thought 8 was
I'm
kind of
gonna
cut
use
off,
you're
that's
the
not
head
the
judge,
most
right?
we're having on that.
Yeah.
If she's the head judge and I'm out here, guys, right? No, yeah, so everyone pose, go ahead. She's the head judge, right? But I'm the guy that goes this way, right? You think she has a really good view of me,
No.
right? So I'm gonna keep my foot on the line, and remember I said before, always pose to the head judge. Now, if you're an athlete that poses this way, right, and I'm on the line, she's got a much better view of me right now. So when you're angled, and that's your strong side, don't focus so much of getting off on an angle because you're angled already to her, right? I still do this. I still give a look, because I remember I want her to see wide clavicle, open chest, I want her to see taper, right, on an angle. So I'm still gonna always angle a little bit, but if I'm a guy that poses this way, guys, this is where I really gotta have a totally different angle.
Mike, face that way again,
Which way?
to the parking lot. My example of going to the parking lot,
You'll see this as a judge.
okay?
This will
And
happen.
he may have the best body in the show, but he can't show the judges. So after the show, he's running up to the judges, wondering what took place. And we're like, we couldn't see. Prime example, what he's teaching right here, face inward.
Yep, so again, if I'm posing this way, I really have to be conscious of my angle. But guys, by rule, you always have to have 1 foot on the line. You can't be off the line like this. And guys, I've seen guys, I used to teach my guys face the curtain, okay? And here's another big mistake that a lot of guys that make. They'll go like this,
Okay.
okay? Now what happens is, there's more than one judge. Maybe that's a little bit of an angle for the guy all the way on that end, but it's not a great angle for some of the other judges. So again, just like the front pose, it's just a little angle. This foot has to stay in the line, and it's just a little angle, okay? A lot of guys I see go like this, and they go like that. Does that piss you off, Serge?
Well, we will ask him to go back on the line.
Okay, now here's something that Tyler taught me and Emmanuel. We were at the Road to Olympia up in the office. Okay, I'll go in your back pose again. Now I want you to get on top of him a little. Okay? Jason, move towards the judge.
So say you just did him a favor.
Okay? Okay? Now, should he have moved back towards the judges off the line, or should he have moved forward? Which one?
Back.
Back? 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 You're all wrong.
Well, I meant like back, like the back towards.
No.
Oh, that.
You're all wrong.
Oh, dang.
If you're ever getting judged by Tyler or Steve Weinberger, you back up and towards the judge off the line, they're gonna ding you.
What they do, they put you right back on the line.
Yup, they'll put you back in line.
And I
So
don't
what you gotta
understand
do-
how you can go from a front pose to a back pose and then turn back to the front and you're gonna take 3 steps back to the line. How did you get that far away?
Good point, that's a really good
3
point.
steps
So-
to get back to the line where you started from.
Tyler's gonna be really happy that I'm teaching you guys this. So guys, so let me
Chicken wing
for a
fight.
minute. Let me do-
Chicken wing.
So guys, come on me, come on me, come on. Yeah, be on, like, smother. Smother. So guys, this is what you wanna do.
Oh, okay.
He can see you. Don't feel like everyone, the back of the day, they're like, oh, you're gonna look smaller if you move forward. No, you're gonna stand out and they're gonna have a better view of you. Okay? You can't come off the line closer to the judges. That's when you're changing perspective and they don't like it.
And plus the lighting is just.
Yes, yeah. The lighting could be better, that could change. You know, the lighting's structured to hit those lines mostly. So you don't wanna be too far off that line because that light can go over you. Okay, if you are forward in front of the light, remember the light always comes from here 90% of the time. So if it's coming from here and you're moving out of here and it's going over you, you might not have a good cast of light on you and things like that. But most importantly, that's what the head judges and Olympia judges, these are national judges, if you go to nationals. So that's the advice that I've been given by Tyler and Steve. They do not want you coming at the judges anymore. They want you moving forward off the line so you're by yourself and you're not smothering people. Because when you move back and forward, then you're actually taking the view away from the other athletes.
And 9 times out of 10, the judge is gonna stop everything at that point anyways, tell you how to spread
All
out.
right, speaking of spreading out, Jason, stand here, go to the back post. Smother yourself, stay on there. If I'm sitting here and I want them to space out, they're like, hey guys, I need space, just look here. Stay where you're at, shuffle your feet, but don't move.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
I see this all the time, hey guys, I need you to spread out. So turn around, go back up, they look identical to what they just did.
Just moving the feet, but not.
All they did was
moving
move
the
their
body.
feet. So spread out. We need a gap between each athlete. And then you won't have to jockey for that position, walking forward and walking back off of that line. Stages are huge that we go to, but everybody wants to be
In the middle.
right in the.
Does anyone want me to look at their physique? Yeah? Let me see
Take it
your
out.
pose.
So what you guys don't want to do too is like get in that back pose and not want to bump somebody and just like not open up all the way. Because I've seen shows
You end
where
up
like
putting your
guys
arms down.
Yeah.
guys had their back pose perfect, but then when they got in the line and it was too close, they just pinched up because there's a guy here. That's when you want to, don't bump them, just take that step forward.
Hey, but before you get into that, let's talk just a little bit about shorts. Then we go straight. Then we'll just talk about pose the rest of the time.
Go ahead.
Men's physique, got shorts, right? We do not need to see them pushed down to the middle of your quads. There is nothing in this area that we need to see to judge. Honestly, farther you push them down, you start looking like a Y, not an X. If anybody knows anything about this sport, it's all about the X. So as soon as you keep pushing it down, because you're wanting to see that swoosh line or whatever it is,
VT.
and we're seeing right in the top of your pubic area, we don't want to see that.
What about the butt crack?
That's even worse.
You don't like butt crack?
We got bodybuilding, we got classic, we got men's physique, we don't have plumber. So let's stay with those first three divisions. We may add dad bod and plumber later, but as of right now, we don't have it.
That's why you gotta pick up a pair of shorts, guys, get them tailored, tape, whatever.
And I
You
hear
don't
this
wanna see
all the
you going
time.
like this while you're sitting on stage, and a lot of guys do, even the top level guys. You know, Chiron's a big, does it all the time.
I think it's a fidget, just a twitch, you know?
Yeah, well, he's now learned, because he's been warned, that he needs to do it off stage before he comes out, that he can't be sitting on Olympia Live, putting his pants down a little. And again, it's not really necessary. Sometimes actually it can make you look wider and more narrow.
We hear it all the time, well, I lost so much weight, and that's the reason they're falling down. Guys, 40-year shorts crazy. You know, you can get them tapered. You know, it'd be no problem somebody that cut a V in the back, draw them up, you'll never know the difference.
Yeah, I always get mine tailored to my, because I used to change weight all the time.
And the new rule is 2 inches above the knee, not mid-quad, not.
And no logos, no team, whoever.
I thought it was 3.
You can say Chula or any of that stuff, but you can't put like a team logo or anything like that.
And guys, again, I wouldn't be wearing skin tight shorts unless you actually have balanced legs. You don't want to expose something that's not a strength of yours and look unbalanced. Yeah, I'll be honest with you, that was one of the problems we had with Emmanuel last year. You know, he got dinged for his legs. And his shorts were too wide at the bottom and not tapered, where it looked like his legs were swimming at the bottom of the short, where if I had a better cut, it could have flowed a little better. Maybe not expose his legs versus some of the other guys that just finished right over him. You know, the biggest difference from Manuel being 4th to 2nd or 1st was look at the balance of Ali's legs and Ryan's legs, you know, from the bottom, and their shorts fit perfectly.
You want to see a little bit of that sweep. They don't want to be skin tight, you know.
Yeah, but just make sure, sometimes you want to go a little bigger if you don't have those, shorts, but you also don't want to have them too baggy at the bottom where there's a big, little stick coming in the hole. All right, so let me see your, anywhere, man, let's pick you apart. There's no way I suppose I've never not fixed. Okay.
I do have flat feet.
Yep, I can tell. Okay, oh man, wait until I change it up. See your straight. Okay. Yeah, I have a pet peeve about this, so you know. I was trying to be nice to you. Yeah, if you pose me, guys, that's me. All right. Okay, he has really good width, really good erectors. He's thick lats, but he's actually destroying the way his body looks. Why? What do? You went like this, right?
Too wide.
Leaning
Okay.
forward.
Now, look at my shape of my back here, guys. Does it look good? How does it look now? Okay, I don't have the best back. All right, so look, all right, see where you are with your arms down? That's it. Guys,
Stay there.
start a pose,
It's your
stop
body
doing
fighting
this.
in front.
Stop bringing your arms up, because what happens, a lot of you guys stay here.
So sit on
When I pose, yeah, now look at me, yep. I'm gonna show you what to do. When I pose, front pose, my structure never changes. Even when I do the side thing, I don't go like this, right? My structure changed once.
Just
My structure never changes, ever. Okay, so you have to keep your lats open. There's only 2 areas you're supposed to stress on your body. Nothing else. What are those 2 areas you should be stressing on your body in a men's physique pose? New guy. Don't answer me. What is it? Lats. And what else? Abs. You should never be flexing any other part of your body but those 2 areas. My lats and my abs. Lats and abs. Lats and abs. The only thing I'm doing here is I'm bringing my rib cage up to the sky. What helps me do is create more roundness. Instead of me going like this and bending my lower back and crunching it, For me to get my shoulders and look more cat to the judge, I want to bring my rib cage up, and that's going to naturally flip that. So I want you to just be relaxed. Turn around. Okay? What's the first thing you did? You hold your arms up. Let these lats pull up your arms.
Let your last pick your arm.
Yes! Okay, now bring that rib cage up. Don't
Use your arms, your arms back, is what I tell you.
Probably gonna hurt.
No, he's good. He's good. Look, now I see a diamond. I see a diamond, I see a cobra, right? I don't see this. This is what I saw before. What happens here, guys? Elongates the lats. And I'm judging, I want to see thickness, right? I want to see the rectors relax. Now put the arms down and bring your chest, rib cage up and open up. No, relax a little more. Look, you got to take care of here, your diaphragm. Look.
There you go.
Because it's going to open up your whole body. Yes. See it? That's a perfect back boost.
If you can get that upper chest super full of air, it makes your back kind of fill out a little bit too.
You think he ought to be toward back just a little bit?
He's got to get conditioned. What he's not used to, the more he keeps doing this and practicing, he's going to open up and the body's just going to actually open
I'm
up.
gonna say, I'd say his lower back's screaming right now, just not what he's done.
Yeah.
Whatever he's saying, he knows already.
So open up your rib cage.
Deep breath. Sternum up.
Okay. Good. Bring it up more. Good. There you go. Good. Full, full, full.
Maybe show them that from the side, dude.
Hmm?
Maybe show them that from the side. Like
Yeah. No, let me,
How that looks.
Yeah, that's too far apart.
From,
I'll show.
I think back too far, but
Yeah.
how that looks.
So good. See how I'm not seeing skin here, guys, and he's crunching his lower back? You just bring that up. And when you keep practicing this, you're gonna be able to get bigger and more open and more wider. Okay? You gotta keep doing it. That's why posing has to be done morning, midday, night, just for 5 minutes. Practicing. I can sit in the back pose, again, like I told you, 7 hours maybe. I can sit here and I'll be wide open sitting here.
And then front pose too.
Okay, yes,
Yeah,
this is the big challenge. I want to save this for last. Let me see your front pose. Okay. A lot of things here. Okay. So I'm going to mimic you because that's how I like to teach people. Okay. So this is what you did.
Oh, the leaning forward a little bit. I think it has a lot to do with what you were
Okay.
saying earlier.
This is what you should
Where
have
his arms
done.
are.
This is what you should have done. Relax. Just lats and core. He's holding his arms up. Guys, the biggest thing you can make a mistake when front pose, back pose is doing this motion. Let your lats pick your arms up. These arms should be natural. I should be like that. There's a beach body division. Technically, it's what we're supposed to be. I should be on the beach like this. That doesn't look good. And I'm not making fun of you. I have to show you what the difference between you.
I need to get-
So he did this. I want him to come out. Now do that.
If you did that first pose and you was at the beach, I probably wouldn't even say on it.
Do that.
Let your chest
Stay up. Relax. Okay, now open your lats more though. No? Yeah, you got to. No, just look. Open this. Good. Now.
I feel like I'm still doing what you're doing. I'm trying not to
You gotta
do
move
that.
that foot back, that's why. There you go. You're starting to see better structure now. It doesn't look like he's holding his arms up as much. Now guys, when he's conditioned and tapered, I'll be able to angle his waist a lot better.
Soon my prep is starting.
How many shows you done?
Only 2 pro shows right now, but as far as shows,
Yeah, total.
probably like 8 or 9.
Yes, this is still, somewhat new, but, conditioning the stomach, it's pulling, it's a rag. We gotta take that rag and literally squeeze the shit out of it. Okay, so if you're not feeling pain here in this corner, you're probably not posing correctly. You should feel tightness here. And as you get better and better and better and more conditioned, you barely won't feel anything. Because it's easy and your body's gonna open up. So when you step, right, just relax and just open this back up.
So make sure I'm not tilting forward,
You're
yeah.
flat footed, but
I
still
am.
let your chest be on the front of your feet. Don't, guys,
Yeah.
this is not something judges want to see, they're gonna look up you. You wanna be
It washes you
on
out
the
too
judge.
when you
I want my
back.
chest to like,
Flatten you out.
hang on the judge, right, a little?
But your balance is actually better on your first pose. When you get back kind of on your heels, now you're gonna have to reset eventually because you can't hold that pose.
And guys, you can't get in your core. When you're like, look, how can I get in my core? Now I can get in my core. I can't get in my core on
Leaning back,
on my heels. It's like a boxer. Imagine a boxer fighting like this, you get knocked out, right? A boxer's gonna be up on here, just like a poser. You're on the front of, the weight distribution's on the front of the foot, not the back. Now, flat-footed people, it's a little more challenged. You're gonna have to practice how to get that weight distribution a little more forward, so that chest is on top of, yes. See how the shoulders look better? They're rounder. This is all because of everybody's condition. Shoulders are rounder, chest is full. Still gotta learn how to control this waist a little.
manipulate.
Yes, you stick your pelvis out. So you're like this,
Yeah, try to
where you gotta,
lean into it.
well, no, your hips should start this way, sit here. Yeah, so when you step out here, almost like you're running this way, and then you're squaring up, and your belly button still angles to the curtain. Good. And when he's conditioned, you'll see a lot of this look better. But most importantly, guys, I need this to look like that. The chest has to be full. The arms can't look like they're out like this. That doesn't show good shape. It's this.
And I have an issue sometimes when I pose with my arms on my hip. I tend to like squeeze my chest and it takes away from my chest.
Can't do
I'm
that.
trying to learn how to do
I
it.
do like you better with your arm on your hip.
You do?
I do.
Okay. But I just gotta remember not to squeeze.
Can't flex your chest.
Yeah, it's all core
Your
like
chest
you
should
said.
never flex in men's physique.
Okay.
If you're flexing your arms, your chest, your shoulders, you're not meant to be
So
posing.
better doing that than having both? Better than,
Yeah, I like you better with your hand. Again, when you're conditioned, but
yeah,
you
it's a
gotta
little bit
practice
different.
both.
Yes.
Guys, don't
I
ever,
will.
always practice both, get used to it, get comfortable, and then a good coach and a good posing coach will be able to see how your body's changing and how you should angle and change things up as your conditioning and your look is changing. But you fixed your back pose today, which is,
Yeah,
that's
I'm
great.
gonna work on that. Yeah.
And now your shoulder, you look like this.
Around a lot.
Steve Weinberger told me this when I went pro in 2015, I think it was. I'm from New York. I went to Bev's. I'm like, I gotta have this guy look at me. He's gonna judge me. So I was nervous as hell. And I couldn't get into a back pose. And he went out and like this. He goes, smacks me in the back. He goes, stop moving. He goes, a back pose is a relaxed pose. And that stuck with me when Steve said that to me my whole career. Posing and teaching people, it's just relaxed. That's why I can sit in the pose for 7 or 8 hours. Classic physique, no difference. Classic, and it's just like that too. You should be able to sit there and just hang on your lats. You're just pushing the blood into the corner of your lats, up into almost your armpit. You're just sitting there. Just what guys do.
I think your back can hold your arm up for 7 hours, but your arm cannot hold up your back for 7 hours.
No,
Yeah,
your arms can hold you back up. And that's why your lats look like they disappear, because you're elongating the lats by bringing your elbows up. Elbows always have to go on a slant. Now let me tell you this. There are guys that have to bring their arms up a little higher and more parallel. Corey Morris is one of them. His lat insertions are so high
Ridiculous.
that he has so much meat there. If Corey was to go like this, his back structure would not look the, you'll see Corey kind of a little bit more up with his elbows because he has all his muscle and lat insertions are higher. So again, have the right
On a
coach.
normal competitor, they should practice what he's doing.
right.
Yeah,
And then when he
your
gets
Corey
low,
Morris is probably one of the most unique physiques in the, would you say, in the
what do you think on like, the small details are gonna be what, last 2 weeks for someone like him? On changing stuff?
I'd say the last 4 weeks.
Like
You
four
guys-
weeks?
I respond pretty quick whenever I
Yeah.
got it down. I like to just
So then that last 3 to 4 weeks, that's when,
Yeah, I mean, posing should be happening all the time, but yes,
Yeah.
when you're making adjustments, you don't never want to make an adjustment the week of the show. If your coach is like, hey, well, I saw your check-in, we're gonna change all this because I don't like the way it looks this week. Guys, you gotta figure that out before, a minimum 4 weeks out from a show. There's times where I try to fix his back pose. I remember, you're like, Mike, I can't do it that way, it's not enough time. And I'm like, fuck. But then what do I always tell you? Every photo he checks in, you're back, bring your elbows down. You're not hitting your back, you're not hitting your rectors, you're not bringing your back. And I constantly remind him what he looks like at every single check-in, to the point it's registering into his head. Same thing with him on his front pose. Before he went pro, his front pose, I think, pulled him back from a few pro cards. And I remember when Tyler told me he wanted the front pose a certain way, he goes and does it the opposite way. Literally goes from center of the junior nationals call out to all the way to the end. Tyler throws him to 8th. Wouldn't even look at him again. That was I told him to switch it. You don't listen, okay.
Let me add this real quick. This is the thing. It's different because you feel like you're posing good. You feel like you're in a good pose as a competitor. But that's when good coaching come in to say, no, I don't give a shit what you feel like. This is how you look.
Yes, sir.
And that's the critique that you go with, because we feel like, oh, I'm nailing it. Bro, you got one arm like this and one arm like that, bro. You're not nailing it. You see what I'm saying? So that's why it's great to have a great opposing coach, whereas that their eyes can be your vision on that. You see what I'm saying? And take what they say. Like, I take what he says and I implement that into my posing. I don't get home and be like, oh shit, now you know what? This feel better. I'm gonna do this. No, that's what you got a coach for.
And it could be your girlfriend.
That looks better.
Your workout partner, whoever it is, probably the best support system you get. Worst posing coach, worst judges you get. So give it somebody that knows the sport, knows the division really good, and let's want to say enjoy the process.
And you can't just like a pose because you've seen somebody else hit it too. You gotta get with somebody that
No, that's the
May not be good
biggest
for physique.
mistake.
what fits your physique,
Yeah.
and then decide on it, because you also, when you decide on what pose you're gonna hit, you don't wanna be on, there's so many ways you can hit a front pose. You can go hands off, you can go
Guys,
hands on,
how
you can
many
do either
people
side, but.
tried to copy? Remember when Banks
Yeah.
came out with his style and the peekaboo and all that stuff?
all these different poses,
Everybody in the
switching
league
back
was
and forth.
going like
Oh,
this,
yeah.
and- but they weren't even doing it the way he was doing it. When
Yeah.
Banks does the peekaboo, his structure is up here and he's showing something. He's showing the level of his conditioning. A lot of people are going, trying all this different
All they
angles.
see is his arm.
Yeah, like they were just messing up their pose. It just wasn't working
Well,
for their
that
body.
Ventura step, that's when you,
The Ventura.
Yeah, oh yeah, the common Ventura step, this is the Ventura step,
Oh,
right?
the drastic one that you do like all the way to the
Yeah, you got knees, you got,
How about the guy that
He sweeps his leg and he almost does a split.
Yeah.
Oh, Vittori does
That shit's
this.
wild.
And they made him change it. I remember.
Even
He
just like
their
the
frozen, he
front
plays
pose, like
better.
a basic
It was
front
terrible.
pose.
It's distracting. What does this do?
In person, it's.
He
What is that?
says,
What is that?
pick me, that's what he's doing. He's judging.
Who's your other guy that he did really well? I think he's the army guy. He was doing that.
Charge up.
I changed Charger's
Wow.
whole entire routine. Yeah, and the feedback was he's got to stop. Yeah, he was doing all. It was cool. Don't get me wrong. It looked cool.
Yeah.
But what are we looking for?
Threw people
You're
off.
looking for structure. You're looking for muscle. You're looking for development.
Size, image, shape, development. Are we still looking for front pose?
Serge, is there anything?
Say it again. Y'all need to hear that. He
He's-
said, no, what
he's
you just
coming
said,
out.
you need to hear that, because it's very important, because I get so many posing clients saying, oh, this feels good and I do this. He said it again, you said what?
We're looking for size, shape, development, structure, and basic back pose. That's it.
Right.
Nothing else.
Keep it basic
Nothing else.
in you. Keep it basic.
Serge, what are some things you can point out from at the level of Olympia judging that you see that you and the judges talk about that kind of irks you?
Superman pose.
Everyone thinks they can stand front. Guys, if you ain't Andre Ferguson or Ryan Terry, don't do it. Because that's how many people can't do it. So, that is a very hard pose. And honestly, I think as Andre's gotten older, and you can tell him I said this, his waist has gotten thicker and he actually doesn't look as good in it today, in my opinion, as he did
When he started.
and Serge would probably agree with me on this. With Ryan, it's just I remember Jim Mannion was standing there and he was like, make sure he always stays in that damn pose, because they love the way he looks in that front pose. It's just the structure, the balance, the chest. You gotta be balanced.
The biggest thing is the balance.
Thank you.
And between the shoulders,
Diogo,
chest,
yes,
waist,
Diogo can hit it, but
arms.
not sit there in a lineup. Not against somebody. He can come out and go like this, because his shape is so great.
Yeah.
He's probably got one of the best shapes in the world. I mean, arguably, to me, in my opinion. What's something else that stands out when you guys are talking, that you're saying, man, we laugh about these things, or talk about it, or it pisses us off? Is there any other things besides?
I mean, at the Olympia level, they were pretty good, you know, top 10.
What about a guy that takes a lot of time on a stage? I know that was a problem this year, I heard.
It depends, like at the pro show, you can take a little more time. In an NPC show, the show goes, it's much bigger, so they want it to go faster, you know? If you have a show that's a pro show only, you can take more time. If there's an NPC and pro portion in it, you gotta finish the show. So you gotta keep moving, you know, but that's between expediters, you know? We have the great expediters, they keep moving.
I think detail is huge. Like, you'll think you're in the best shape of your life, but you can be just a little tired.
I think one thing that sometimes hurts comparators is overposing. Like you just said, they take too much, even though the expediter may not move them on. You should know when to move on as a competitor. Just because you don't say next, doesn't mean for you to stop there and keep on posing. You can outpose.
And how many seconds is it for the NPC now?
It's 18 to 20 seconds, right? 15.
I'll take 15.
15, 18 seconds. But it's pros and amateurs, you can outpose, overpose and hurt yourself.
Yes,
Brandon
definitely.
Henderson did it in, what, 2022, 2023, maybe when he lost to Banks. Steve said he was sitting there and kept doing.
Yeah,
He
like this.
kept doing this.
Guys, the judges know your condition. If they're looking at you in the comparisons front and back, they can see your side obliques. They know if your condition. You don't have to sit there and go like this, and that's gonna make, oh God, look, he can do a Christmas tree. Oh, he's the most conditioned guy in the fight.
While they're doing all that, we're sitting here saying, I wish you'd just get your pose on.
Yeah, that's all we're saying.
I thought he was doing some low rows or something.
The sooner you hit the pose, the better.
What can an athlete do? So we talked about what like the standard is, what you guys expect us to do. What can an athlete do exceptionally well that will get your attention? Because
Get your pose first.
Get in shape.
Hit your strongest
Get in shape.
poses, front, back, and get off. That was my question. Hang and die on there. Okay, so don't push like this. Go like this. Relax. Lats. So now you're getting more of a V taper. Okay. Oh, just rotate.